Hey everybody, Gordon from the Get Stuff Done project, and today I want to talk to you about resumes. That's right, the thing which you prepare when you want to apply for a job, the thing which is still used around the world, which some people call CV, some people call resume, and we'll get into the details of those a little bit later. But it's probably the thing that you only dust off and prepare when you become a job seeker, not the thing which you get to think about really at any other time. And yet it is so important and so fundamental to your ability to go through successfully in the recruitment process that it's kind of ironic that people often will think about applying for a job and at the last moment try to prepare their resume as best they can, but given a limited amount of time and a limited amount of preparation to perfect it. And the thing is that there is basically no such thing as a perfect resume. Everybody's resume is unique to themselves, and also it's not like there is a world-beating template out there which should be the only way that you use to construct and design your resume. But there's a few things that people do poorly, and when I say people, I've been working now as a recruiter, as a talent advisor for a number of years, running RDI. Of course, I have the personal experience of being a candidate myself prior to doing that. And I work with HR departments of my clients across a wide variety of industries, and also have had experience and exposure to entry-level positions right up to C-level. And so I have seen a lot of resumes. I'm dealing with them on a daily basis. I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. The ones which I can't even believe somebody would think that they could put their name on, right through to something which is really 99th percentile, ready to go, and really couldn't represent them in a better possible way. So with that being said, I want to highlight a couple of the ways in which people often make mistakes or do not provide the most ideal kind of resume, and how you can fix that. Because if the reality is with resume, like I said, there's no such thing as the perfect template. And that means that in reality, it's not so much about making it as perfect as you possibly can. It's really just about knocking out those low-hanging fruit, the basic mistakes that will get you discounted from the initial stages of the recruitment process. So if you can get rid of those early, easy mistakes, you will more naturally proceed through the job process, as long as, of course, you have the qualifications that are needed. That's the most important thing. No resume will get you a job, no matter how good it is, if you're not actually qualified. So the qualifications for the job are a separate issue to how to prepare the ideal kind of resume. So let's just talk now about some of the key things that people do. And the first one, the one that maybe I personally dislike the most, is when people try to over-design or customize the resume. We'll see things like Venn diagrams of their skills. We'll see a multitude of colors and designs throughout the resume, maybe boxes and sections and flowcharts and other kinds of things, which do not help to clarify and convince the person who's getting your resume that you're the right one for the job. In fact, usually they are a distraction. Usually they are just filling space, and so maybe people use that as a technique to fill up space. But to be honest, it's better to leave all of that out, keep it simple, keep to the facts. That is what is going to ultimately get you through, because people look at your resume for such a short space of time. You really only have a moment to be passed on through to the next round before being discarded. Of course, when you get into a short list, then your resume is being studied and scrutinized more closely. But in the initial stages, you're literally being discounted and cut based on things that are not correct, things which are not right, things which the person does not like, etc. And so you have to just appeal for those things. So avoid unnecessary and kind of erratic types of designs I don't believe that anybody got hired based on a fancy design of their resume, but people definitely have been discounted from a recruitment process because the information is convoluted or difficult to understand because it's in some format, and then they have been cut from the process. So bear that in mind. That's the first one I want to mention. The next one I think is really important, and this is where we have two ends of the spectrum. We have people early in their career who are struggling to put stuff on their resume, and people who are experienced and have a lot of things to put on their resume struggling to cut it down and keep it concise. So I think generally the bigger problem is resumes that are too long and have too much information. The thing about the resume is it's really about quality over quantity. As I said, people don't spend a lot of time looking at your resume in the initial stages, and if something is too long, and I'm talking about actual length, but also individual part length as well. So for example, a paragraph of text, even though it's only a one-page resume, a huge paragraph of text is also too long in itself. So try to think about putting the most valuable and significant content in your resume first. And if you're in any doubt as to whether it should be on or not, it's probably off. It's probably not, right? So if you're in any doubt of that, definitely leave it out. If you find yourself repeating yourself throughout each of your positions, again, leave it off. And I think also try to form your resume into single line bullet points, maybe double line bullet points, depending on the amount of experience you have in that position, but keeping it concise and impactful for the reader so that they can catch right away what it is that you did, what did you deliver, and importantly, what was the outcome. That will make for a much better resume, and anything else is just unnecessary description that doesn't need to be there. I think the third most important thing that I would mention based on the kind of common occurring suboptimal item on the resume is when people have not customized the resume to the position, and there is a lot of cut and paste in their resume from positions. I understand if you're a job seeker looking for jobs, you might be applying for a lot of different jobs. If you're more experienced, then there's only one kind of job that you're looking for. So in a sense, these are kind of different cases. The bottom line is that it's better to submit 2 or 3 really good job applications than it is to submit 5 or 10 poor job applications, right? You don't need 10 jobs, you need 1 job, okay? So 1 really good application which is customized to the position, where you have highlighted the things that you have in your experience which are important for that position, the relevant experience that goes with that position and is matching to that company, the key achievements and results which really show you as a high performer. That is going to make the difference, because you can really show within a resume that it has been customized to this position. And so then you might automatically ask, well, how do I customize it to the position? How do I know what it is they're looking for? The job description tells you all of those things. And a job description usually should be written in priority order. So the thing that comes first is the most important, and every other remaining part is less and less important. So peel your resume and the parts of your experience to those most important parts first, and more so than others. And again, if you find additional information that's on there that is, not relevant to that, that's the stuff that you can cut out. Beyond that, there's not much more to say, because there is no such thing as the perfect resume, as I keep saying. I think some basics, of course, are always avoid typos, grammatical mistakes, sloppy formatting and structuring. I think, maybe one just kind of final point I'll say is that think about the overall visual presentation of your resume. Think about looking at it for the first time, and is it easy to read? Is there a natural guiding of the reader's eye from the top of the page to the bottom? Is it clear and logical? So I think starting with that kind of structure is always good. I like to go with name and contact details. Email and cell phone is enough. LinkedIn profile, if you have it, is a nice bonus because you can add lots of information there. And then your professional experience, your education, and then skills. And there's not really anything else that's needed. If you're still in education, then put your education first, and then your other pieces of work experience can come after. But as soon as you've graduated and you have work experience and a solid career, professional experience first, then education, and then skills. Skills section, last of all, and I could probably do an entire video on just on the skills section. This is arguably one of the most important differentiators because you can, outside of your job, outside of your experience and organization, you can grow your skills, implement and elevate your skills, and you can have professional qualifications that are evidence of your skills in addition to the experience that you have. So the skills section is really important. Of course, the languages you speak, the level that you are at each of them, as well as any tools and software that you are using or specialized in your particular area. But do not write a word list of nice buzzwords: leadership, project management, communication skills. That's not a skills section, but highlighting with evidence the key skills that you have and the level you are, ideally with some form of evidence like a test result, a training, an online course, whatever that might be, is the way to go. So probably this needs a part 2 because resumes are so important, but I'll stop there. I wish you all the best for your job applications, and increasingly I'm always advocating to use LinkedIn to provide even more information, keep that up to date. But there you go, some updates for your resume. Thanks for watching, and see you again soon.